Today is April the 15th, 2024. This is a meeting of the Cherokee County School Board of Trustees. At this time, I would like everyone to please stand. Normally, we would have our ROTC here, but I want to read something. A lot of the community, you may know, we've lost a member of our ROTC. Scott, the wonderful article here in the Ledger. I'm going to read this about one of our ROTC members that we lost this weekend. This is in reference to Mr. William Bailey James Smith. Smith was in his third year in the Gaffney High Air Force Junior ROTC program and a two-time top performer at Cadet Leadership School. He was a member of the CKC Volunteer Fire Department and a student in the Institute of Innovation Firefighter Program. During his time in Junior ROTC, Smith contributed more than 300 hours of service in volunteer work. He was the Color Guard commander in charge of all events. He helped with Adopt a Highway, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day programs in the county's Special Olympics. Smith was among a group of Gaffney High Junior ROTC cadets who walked 14 miles Friday in an annual event to commemorate the Bataan Death March, which occurred during World War II. Junior ROTC units worldwide held similar events to raise awareness for prisoners of war and missing in action from military service and to challenge themselves to complete a difficult task. Gaffney High Junior ROTC instructors felt so highly of Smith's leadership skills that he was one of the cadets being considered to be the Junior ROTC commander next school year. He won numerous national awards from various American Veterans Associations. He was a highly decorated cadet and one of our top leaders. He was heavily involved in the Junior ROTC over the past 3 years. Gaffney High Junior ROTC instructor, Chief Master Sergeant Mike Price, said Saturday. Please keep the family and friends in your thoughts and prayers at this very difficult time. At this time, we're going to hold a moment of silence for him, for Miss Sandy Littlejohn's son, Randall Littlejohn, and for former school board member, Steve Moss. Join me in a moment of silence. Mrs. Dawkins.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we come to you tonight asking you to just be with us, Lord, as we make decisions for the betterment of our school district, dear Lord. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on how to move this district forward. Dear Lord, we ask that you be with the families whose names we call, the Moss family, the Littlejohn family, and the Smith family, as they are in their season of bereavement. Again, Lord, we just thank you for allowing us to assemble together tonight. Keep us, dear Lord. Keep our children as they travel back and forth to school each and every day. Keep our children and our teachers as they're in the classrooms, dear Lord. Just give us protection and guidance. We love you, Lord, and we thank you for everything that you have done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. The first item on the agenda is the approval of board agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the board agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the board agenda.
We have a motion for approval of the board agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? A show of hands for approval. That is unanimous. Next item is approval of board minutes for March 11th, 2024. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes for March 11th, 2024?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the board minutes dated March 11, 2024.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? A show of hands in favor of approval. That is unanimous. Next is approval of board minutes from March 21st, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I make a motion, we approve the board minutes for March the 21st, 2024.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, a show of hands? That is unanimous. The next item on the agenda is what a lot of you are here for. Honors, accomplishments, and commendations. Dr. Carpenter?
Good evening. Tonight we're going to start with Blacksburg High School.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
To
afternoon.
our board members who are so appreciative, you always giving us an opportunity to recognize our coaches and our athletes for their hard work. To our academy members and to Dr. Carpenter, it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. The athletic department at Blacksburg High School would like to recognize Ms. Sharique Parker. Sharique is a senior student athlete at Blacksburg High School. Tonight she's being recognized for her hard work this season, and she was awarded the Region 1 Class 2A Player of the Year. Her averages include 26 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, 4.4 steals per game, and 1 block per game. So as you can see, she definitely filled the stat sheet and helped her team to a great season. In addition, Sharique was also named to the Class 2A Top 5 Senior, Class 2A All-State Team, and chosen to participate in the prestigious North-South All-Star Game by the South Carolina Basketball Coaches Association. Congratulations, Sharique.
Congratulations. They asked you for the coach? The coach?
I'll go ahead and get the coach when we get a big one. Our next award recipient goes to head coach Bobby Rogers, who is our girls basketball coach. Coach Rogers was selected Region 1 Class 2A Coach of the Year by the league coaches. Coach Rogers is serving in his 9th season as head coach of the Lady Wildcats. His vision for the program and the example he sets for our student athletes are commendable. This award also makes the 4th consecutive year that he's been awarded Region Coach of the Year, which I think says a lot about his leadership and, more importantly, the high standards of excellence and continued development of his players. So congratulations, Coach Rogers. While they're taking that picture, I do want to mention this. No coach is only as good as their players, and so Coach Rogers, I'm sure he'll tell you this, but he's had a really good group of seniors these last couple of years. A couple of them are taking a picture of Sanaya and Miss Payton. Those girls didn't lose a home region game in 4 years. So
Wow. Congratulations.
It is awesome.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Carpenter. Tonight I have the pleasure of acknowledging the BD Lee Stingers Odyssey of the Mind team. Odyssey of the Mind is an international educational program that promotes creative problem solving through team-based challenges. Students engage in hands-on activities that encourage innovation, teamwork, and out-of-the-box thinking. For the recent Odyssey of the Mind state competition held at Louisview Elementary School on March 16, 2024, the team members wrote an 8-minute-long skit based on dramatic performance about being on tour as part of the BD Lee Stingers rock band and getting detoured in a strange and unexpected way. The team members wrote original songs, dances, and the script, as well as creating all sets, props, and costumes. And they had a budget to abide by too. Additionally, they successfully tackled the spontaneous problem-solving component of the competition. They are thrilled to announce they won first place at the state state competition, earning them a coveted spot in the Odyssey of the Mind World Finals at Iowa State University in May of 2024. This achievement is a testament to their dedication, creativity, and teamwork. The students will have the unique opportunity to experience college life by staying in the dorms at the university, eating at the cafe, competing on a world stage, but more importantly, meeting students from 38 different states and countries around the world.
That's awesome.
So the BD Lee Stingers Odyssey of the Mind team, Tatia Allen. She's absent. Okay. Joanna Dawkins. Brooklyn Douglas. Kamiria Ellis.
You taking the whole picture?
Erica Mann. Angel Sky Savage. Caden Swimple, and our coaches, Amber Mooney.
Thank you.
And Sharon Hill.
Where they need to be.
Do we have 1 second?
Absolutely.
We want to thank everybody tonight, supporting, acknowledging us, the board, Dr. Carpenter, Dr. Jeffries. This is a huge undertaking. Such hard work for this team and us. But however, participating in the World Finals requires significant financial support. Show them what you got, Sky. The cost per attendee is approximately $1,100 plus the plane tickets. So it's about $1,500 per kid. So we are working, we are creating this board, we have filled in all the 100 spaces you see so far. But we have a lot of spaces that need filling to fill that whole paper up.
I need to see it.
And we're the only team from Cherokee County. And we're here to ask for the support for songs and dances.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come support the Odyssey team. Come support the Odyssey team. Come support the Odyssey team. Come support the Odyssey team.
You are cute. Congratulations and good luck.
But we are excited to recognize our junior scholars from Cherokee County School District. The South Carolina Junior Scholars Award of Merit is awarded to 8th grade students who have PSAT scores of 550 or higher in evidence-based reading and writing, or 530 or higher in mathematics. And we have 18 students whose scores meet these requirements. Please join me in congratulating these learners for their stellar academic work. Nikki Chin, Cyrus Klein, thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Trey.
Isabella Maldonado,
Congratulations.
Joshua Smith, proudly to represent our district through their display in the Arts Expo program booklet. Please join me in recognizing their artistic accomplishments. Aiden Snyder, Arts Expo cover design winner.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, that's nice. Good job.
Genesis Romero, Arts Expo honorable mention.
Oh, I like it.
Nice.
Very good. Good job.
And Brielle Connor, Arts Expo honorable mention.
I like those colors. Good job.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are y'all ready for us, I guess?
Yes.
Thank you for allowing the Covenant Council of Boy Scouts of America to be here this evening. My name is Maggie McElhine. I'm the Director of Development and Marketing for the Council. It is my pleasure to present the Albert K. Outstanding Educator Award to a deserving member of the Cherokee County School District faculty. Standing with me tonight, I have several of our Cub Scouts from Pack 145, as well as our Cub Master, Ms. Lisa Golden. They are all students in Cherokee County. 3 of them go to Draytonville Elementary, and Jabari here goes to Grassy Pond. The mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetime by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and Law. So I'm going to have them help me recite the Scout Oath and Law, and they might not remember it, but we're going to hold up our fingers. So can y'all help me by holding up your Scout sign? Perfect. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And then also the Scout Law, okay? A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Very good, guys. That was great. Throughout the Cherokee County School District, we have over 78 Cub Scouts that call your school district home and 24 Scouts BSA members. In the past 5 years, they have completed 2 projects on your campus, which has given them about 230 community service hours. And they're always looking for more, and we're always looking for more ways to partnership. The Albert K. Fretwell Outstanding Educator Award was created in 2016 to honor professionals in education who exemplify good character and inspire students to do likewise. Dr. Fretwell was an early leader in the Scouting movement throughout the United States and served as our 2nd Scout Executive for National Boy Scouts. He was also a leading scholar in the field of education as a professor at Columbia University. extracurricular activities such as scouting helped improve success in the classroom. And if you were on the school board last year, you might remember that we were here doing the same thing about a year ago. And this evening, we are so honored to be here to honor Miss Ruby Byers. I'm going to have her come right up. She is a guidance counselor at Luther Vaughn. Ms. Byers has been selected as a winner of this award due not only to her diligence in her career, but also for her commitment to her school and her community. Her nomination literally gave me chill bumps, and I'm going to read part of it. She is an excellent role model for her students, going above and beyond their needs and giving them undivided attention. She is a joy to be around, exemplifying the true meaning of being helpful and dependable. When asked, she is willing to do whatever, whenever, to always help and be a part of the activities for her students and for the staff at Luther Vaughn. So on behalf of the Common Council of the Boy Scouts of America this evening, we have a medal for you. So I'm going to ask Ms. Golden if she will put the medal around your neck. And then Jabari also has a certificate that he would like to present for you.
Very nice.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Congratulations again, Ms. Golden. Again, we thank the Cherokee County School District and the school board for allowing us to be here this evening, and we hope that we will see you again next year to the exact same award for another deserving member of your faculty. Thank you again.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
And now we'll be moving to the Crystal Apple Award recognitions. In the administrator category, Ms. Ansley McCraw. Words or less cannot even begin to describe the ways Ms. McCraw has changed the lives of our students, faculty, and staff. Though fairly new to the role of administrator, she is wise beyond her years and leads as though she is a seasoned pro. We love her and are so grateful she is part of our team. She puts in long hours, makes plans for success, and takes pride in taking excellent care of her employees. Ansley takes the many challenges thrown at her daily and turns them into positive outcomes. Congratulations. Now certified, Mr. Eric Smalley. Mr. Smalley goes over and beyond for our students and staff. He is a fabulous art teacher and he is a blessing to our students. In a substitute category, she couldn't be here tonight. I think she's got kids on ball fields. We'll still recognize her. Miss Kaylee Burgess, substitute. She is great with the kids, firm, but also kind. She is always willing to take jobs to help the teachers and students. In the classified role, Ms. Carolyn Tessner. We'll go ahead and read about her too. Carolyn Tessner is an absolute gem. She is always willing to help everyone and does it with a smile. She probably knows more about Power School than anyone in the building and often goes unnoticed because she is in a small space. She is the kind of soul who quietly keeps this school running. She embodies the spirit of the Crystal Apple with her pure heart and willingness to help others. Ms. Carolyn Teskner.
Would any board members like to make any comments, have anything to say regarding the honors, accomplishments, accommodations?
I'd like to say congratulations to all our winners. It's just so wonderful to come in and hear good news and good things that are going on in our district. And I just want to remind our students, Dr. Nitz read about Bailey Smith, who passed away this weekend, and he gave so much of himself to his school, his community. So I just want to remind our students to do things while you can. You just never know. So while you can, work hard, accomplish much, and do something with your life. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Dawkins. Anyone else? It looks like a lot of people have left, so this is an opportunity. If you'd like to go ahead and step out before we continue on, you can. The next item is School Board Policy DEDH, Public Participation. Dr. Carpenter.
We did not have anyone for public participation.
Thank you. Next item is Board Policy Review Administrative Rule JFAA-R, Admission of Resident Students.
Ms. Westmoreland?
Good evening. This is an administrative rule as part of JFAA. It's what we have into practice right now. It just wasn't formally in writing, and so we need that in writing as an administrative rule for reference for parents, as well as our schools to know exactly what should be happening when a new student enrolls in our district. We're asking for the first reading. What it is really for information only tonight. Do you have any questions about it? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is Draytonville Elementary School presentation.
Ms. Sullivan?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Amy Sullivan, principal of Draytonville Elementary School, and I'm here to share with you our school. In January, I talked with you about academic information, data, and goals. So tonight, I want to share the activities that we've done this year at Draytonville to promote student learning and recognition, as well as family engagement. Just to give a little history of Draytonville Elementary School, for those of you that may not know, it was named after Mr. William Henry Dalton of Drayton Hall, which was located in Charleston, South Carolina. He leased 1,000 acres of land in the area and started the first ironworks in Cherokee County. He said he died as a young man in the 1770s while a member of the Continental Congress in Philadelphia. In the 1820s, a post office was established in the area called Draytonville, and the school received a community name. As you can see from the original, from when our existing school was built in 1959, there have been additions in 1975, 1998, and 2002. Couple fun facts though, the front hallway of our school is the original terrazzo flooring from 1959, and it's in pretty good shape. And also, Draytonville has had 3 mascots in their history. They were first the Devils, and then they moved in the 1980s to the Mountaineers, and then the 1990s we became the Draytonville Dolphins. Here's our mission, beliefs, and vision. Our mission statement here is the district's mission statement. We have future plans as a school family to craft a new mission statement, visions, and belief to mirror our goals moving forward. Here are our school demographics. We currently serve 263 students in grades 4K through 5th. Our numbers have increased over the last year. a lot of new faculty and staff at Draytonville, including myself. Just a little bit of data. One more thing about demographics. We serve 184 families in our 263 students. Our 21-22 school report card, we had a score of 29, which was unsatisfactory. For this past year, our overall rating was below average. We increased 9 points, and we hope to keep increasing in that score. A little bit more data that we're excited to share. We just completed our spring iReady testing. The percentages at the bottom is what we started with in the fall. The numbers at the top is what we ended up with as of right now with our spring scores. So we went from 10% from being 3 or more grade levels behind to 6, 19% to 9. Of course, we want those numbers to go down. 54% 1 grade level below to 31. We had 15 that were early on grade level, now we're at 24. Then we went from 3% mid or above grade level to 29. Progress toward our annual typical growth, the median score for our school is 102%. So we're proud of that. In math, in similar fashion, we went from 8% down to 5% for 3 more grade levels below. We went from 20% to 7% with 10 grades below. 65 to 45, 1 grade level. Early on grade level, we went from 7 to 21, and from mid or above, we went from 0 to 21. So we're excited about that. And our progress toward annual typical growth in math, we're 100% for the school. To encourage our students to do their best before testing, we had an iReady pep rally. We all got together and talked about the importance of the test and strategies and doing our best. Did a little dancing with the teachers and the students to get us pumped up, and to encourage students to do their best. The students that met their typical and/or stretch growth, they will be invited to our glow party, and we will have around 80 students participating in that. And they met it in reading and math. Our data wall is a work in progress, but we update this 3 times a year. When we finish our diagnostic testing and our next step we got in reading, we meet regularly as teachers to discuss student, class, and school progress using our data wall. We have some very good conversations about that. Some things that we have done this year that we think that has impacted student progress, we used our CSI money to hire a reading interventionist for grades 3, 4, and 5. I mentioned this one in January. She works with 36 students 5 days a week for 30 minutes. And we have seen significant growth in our phonics, which was a deficit in our reading, was an impact in our reading. We've seen lots of growth in our phonics because of the work that she's doing. Also, we took some of our Title I money and we started after Christmas an after-school enrichment program that meets 2 days after school for an hour and 15 minutes with some of our teachers, and it is math focused, and we are working with our iReady individualized pathways and pulling small group instruction one-on-one with those students. Some things that we're doing to help our science standards, we are working with the Spartanburg Science Center and bringing learning into the schools. They have been at our school probably 4 times so far this year. They're working with, brought some animals with our kindergartners and our 4th graders. That was a big experience for some of our kids because they had never seen iguanas, and well, they've seen a snake, but not as close and personal. I left the room for that, but and they also had some a chemistry lesson with, our partner that she comes down to the Spartanburg Science Center, and they love it when they come. They've done a weather unit, and, they're coming, in a couple weeks and doing, I think, force in motion. So we're excited to continue, bringing those experiences in with our students. To support STEM, we have teachers that do activities with our students. You can see some of these pictures. They build leprechaun traps and recorded their information planning in STEM journals. They're building parachutes. We utilize our outdoor classroom with activities. There's the first graders. They are digging into a pumpkin and learning all kinds of facts about pumpkins and the seeds and getting their hands dirty. And their second grade classes were built windmills to go with one of their science units. We invited the Spartanburg Ballet to come, and they did a program with our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders on force in motion, and to incorporate music and dance to show how they can all work together. This is the 2nd year we've had them come, and they enjoy it. I enjoy it to see different students, and they talk about where they're from and their experience and their education that they have. So we look forward to continuing that relationship with the Ballet of Spartanburg. Our first Lego League, we're excited that they competed in the qualifier, and they advanced to the West Regionals. So they went and competed in January, I think it was January, in the West Regionals, and were able to share their experiences and expertise in their robotics with them. So we're very proud of them for that advancement. Avid, we continue working with Avid every day, incorporating Wicker strategies into our teaching and our learning. Miss Hodges, she has built or created a Venn diagram bulletin board that she puts up different things, and the kids come by and they compare and contrast. I think this is apples and bananas, but she's done drums and guitars and different kinds of things. So it's kind of interesting to see. The kids get real excited and come through and like to write, and some of the things they've come up with have pretty original. So we are excited to continue with our Avid strategies. Also, we have career speakers that we invite to come into our school, and surprisingly, we've had a lot of parents that want to come and talk about their careers with the boys and girls. So we have an animal breeder that came in and talk, landscaping and construction. Some of our parents came in to talk about that. Our SRO, Ken Taylor, had his son, which is a student at the Citadel, come in and talk about what he does at the Citadel and his future plans. We had Mr. Randy Phillips, which is our district GT brain booster teacher. He drives a charter bus part-time and came and talked about students, about the things, where places he goes and things that he does with that. And we invited some limestone students to come in and to talk about their experiences. Our PPIS, this is something that we're proud of and that we grow, will continue to grow every year. But here's some highlights that we do. We have our student spotlight board at 2 o'clock every day. My phone goes off and I announce that it's student spotlight time, and students that get recognized for anything and everything. They get a student spotlight ticket from custodians, SROs, teachers, volunteers, anyone that sees them doing a good job at learning or just being a good citizen. They come and we get high fives. They get a $5 dolphin dollar they can use towards their incentive days. And this usually is such a big thing. Halfway through the year, we have to take everyone down. Miss Harrington, she helps with that, and she gives them all back, their spotlights back to them, and they store them in their Avid binders. They're super proud of them. It hurts my heart to take them down sometimes because they can walk by and they'll show you every single spotlight that they have received, and they know exactly where they are on the board. When their parents come in, they want to show them, but we run out of room. I've actually, on second semester, had to add an extra block to continue towards the rest of the year. Our PBIS incentive, we have on Thursdays and Fridays, and we incorporate with their dolphin dollars that they receive for having positive behavior and showing good dolphin traits. They get to spend them in different ways. We have a prize cart, of course, that we roll around, and they get to buy things with that. But we've also utilized our special area teachers to help during our PBIS time. They can go to computer, they can go play bingo, they can go to music and dance, they can do a craft activity, or they can have an extra recess. So those are some inexpensive and free ways that we try to promote student behavior, and they get very excited when it's PBIS days. We also have student jobs with our 5th graders. They apply for jobs, school jobs around the school, recycling, flag bearer, morning announcements, jobs like that. And they receive a check. They didn't know what a check was at first, but they've gotten the hang of it now. And they get to deposit that into their accounts, and then spend that money too. So that has been something exciting that we've done. And then with the Power School, the Unified Classroom Behavior Support, which helps us keep up with behavior and documentation. Well, that's something else that we have implemented this year. Our Song to Grow. This was something that was asked of us by the district to pilot, and we have had a lot of success with this. The kids get a reflection prompt every week, and they get to tell how they're feeling. This was an example. Tell me about your week, what helped you, what can you try next week. I just put we get insights that tells how kids are feeling as a whole, and then we also get alerts if there's something that the student puts in. I'm not gonna read that, but I wanted to put it on there because I get very emotional when I look at it, but it's worth looking at just to show kind of what some of the things that our kids are feeling that they might not say to us, but they will tell us in different ways. But then we are able to read that. Ms. Smalley, she helps me with this, and the teachers as well. But we connect with those kids to see how we can reach out to help them in different ways. If we need to, contact parents, or we need to make mental health referrals, or anything that we can do to help their students. But I put a good on there. It's been it's been good, and this week I'm getting baptized, and almost everyone is coming, and I'm so excited. And we are doing something fun this week, so yeah. Just so you know. And then the other one, like I said, was an alert that we got, and a little girl, she's worried about her mama, and she's sad. So we were able to get with her and to give her a little extra love and see how we can help that family. So this is something that we're excited about continuing. Our NED show. This is our 2nd year of NED. The NED show comes and does yo-yos. Yo-yo show with the boys and girls. Talks about positive mindset, never giving up, encouraging others, and doing your best. Then the kids, this is a free program, as we pay it forward. The kids get to buy yo-yos and try the tricks out that Ned has showed them, and then they are able to take what we raise for the yo-yos to pass it on to another school. But this is usually a big thing. We're able to take those 3 qualities of Ned and to use them throughout the year to promote positive mindset for our boys and girls. Our school garden, we received a grant last year for our school garden, and we have enjoyed doing things with our garden. We had over 100 sweet potatoes that we harvested last year in the fall, and we did different things with those. The cafeteria prepared those for lunch, and the kids got to try sweet potatoes. Some had never had a sweet potato before. Miss Sadie, she took some home and she made potato pies. We enjoyed those. Tomatoes, I never knew a little garden like that could produce so many tomatoes. We had tomatoes every day this summer. So enjoyed doing that too. I'm not a tomato eater, but I tried it from the garden. Right now, we have kale and onions that are about to be ready to be harvested, and then we're going to try lettuce and radishes. But this is a grant through the 4-H that we got last year, and we enjoy working in our garden and watching it grow, just like our students. Our parent fair, this was something new that we tried this year and we had a lot of success with. We did it in conjunction with our Title I parent meeting. This is something that we had done at one of my previous schools and I thought was a big success, so I wanted to try it at Draytonville in our community. But we invited different organizations in conjunction with our Title I hot dog supper to come to their gym and share some of their knowledge. You can see we have adult ed that came to talk about getting GEDs. We had our meeting milestones came to talk about early education with some of our parents. First Steps came. We had Limestone University talk to me, and the public library. They brought the bookmobile outside for kids to sign up for library cards and check out books. So we were very excited about the turnout and the positive feedback that we got from this, and we're excited about growing this in the future. Also, one of the things that we have done this year, anytime a parent comes in and gets involved in a parent conference or an activity that we do, they get a coupon to come eat lunch with their children. And that has been a big, big success this year to get more parent participation because they like being able to come eat lunch with their kids. Our Read Across America family event we've had last month, that we had literacy, math, science, and STEM stations set up around the gym, and boys and girls got to visit different stations. Again, I had a list of all of the stations, and if they visited a certain number, they got a lunch coupon. We did this in conjunction with the Scholastic Book Fair too, which was a real big success. But as you can see, we had a gym full of families that came, and they enjoyed it. And this is definitely something that we will continue to do. Read Across America Week, of course, is a huge thing in the elementary schools. So here's just some snapshots of our week. Our cafeteria ladies made green eggs and ham for Dr. Seuss. We do a 2-liter bottle, not a contest, but we have come in just a couple of shots of some of the bottles that were brought in from book characters. It's cheap, inexpensive way for families to get together and create something. Our special area teachers, they dressed up as the Bad Seed and the Smart Cookie, that series. We had character dress up day, and there's some Jeannie B. Jones in there. But this always a fun week for us. We had our fall festival back in October. We brought it back from COVID last year, and we did it again this year, and it's always a good family event, a time for everyone to get together and have some fun, and we raise a little money, but we enjoy seeing all of our families during that time. Pumpkin Patch Food Service, they donate pumpkins to the schools every year, so we try to think of a creative way for our kiddos to get their pumpkins. So we do a pumpkin patch. So we go out, we lump them all together, and they come out and they get to pick their pumpkins, and then they get a little picture. And then our art teacher, she volunteers for classes if they want to bring them in to carve them. Some of the teachers do activities in their classroom, but some kids they've never gotten a pumpkin of their own, and they're so cute and perfect, just like they are. So they always get excited over pumpkin time. Our veterans program, we had a good turnout for veterans program. Our music teacher, Miss Ballou, she worked with every grade to do a special song for our veterans. So you can see they have their poppies that were created in art as they sang their songs, and then there's a great picture of our veterans that came to our program and the families that they represented. It's always a special time. Our grandparents' breakfast, last year we had a grandparent drive-through. This year we brought them in, and boy did they come. to celebrate them. So there's just pictures of some of our sweet families. We like to celebrate the arts at Draytonville. So our music teacher, Miss Blue, she did a Christmas program with our 5th grade and our kindergarten. She brings out instruments wherever she can to teach them about the instruments and the sounds that they make and the music that they can make with them. And also we work with our middle and our high schools to bring music into our schools to show them what possibilities are as they grow older. Our art teacher, she works with our boys and girls and to create beautiful pieces of art. We had some of them displayed, of course, at the Arts Expo, but during our spring parent conferences, this is our 2nd year doing this, but we had an art show at school, and we had a piece of art in our hallways that represented every single boy and girl at our school. So when parents had parent conferences, they had artwork that they could look at, and then their children could show them the things that they do as, not just in learning, but on the creative side as well. Our Zaxby Spirit Night, we had it back in January. I try to get as many of these as I can. Last year I got 2, this year I only got 1. But because it is such a great way to interact with our families, I feel like it is an important night. But these are some of the families that we had and some of the smiles that we had and good times. But I try to, see and take a picture of every single one, but these were just a few of the snapshots that we had. Spirit days and weeks that we've done over the year that we've had a good time with. Our Holiday Spirit Week, Spread the Love, our Read Across America Week, Red Ribbon Week, our Avid Spirit Week that we've had, Dot Day. I'm sure I missed some of those on there, but we don't miss an opportunity to dress up. Our community helpers, just a few of the community that has helped us in some way throughout the year. Accounts Mountain Baptist Church, they provide us with our backpack buddies every week. Baptist Church, Miss Vicky's always coming by and bringing us something, asking what we need, and the church is always willing to help us any way we need them. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, they bring us back to school supplies every year, and we're so thankful for them. And the Masons, they brought us some things for Christmas this year that we appreciated. Our Baby Club and Student Council is another way that we recognize our boys and girls, and we have a program for them that's really special. Our Too Good for Drugs program, we finished up last week. It's a good program. Being a former 5th grade teacher, I know the importance of those skills and strategies that our SROs are teaching our boys and girls, and we want to make sure that we're celebrating that, because that's such a powerful message that will follow them from middle school, high school, and in life. Our special needs class with Miss Lovelace, we try to support them all throughout the year in their projects that they do. They're getting ready for Special Olympics, so some of the things that they've done this year to help raise funds for that, they sell lemonade. They have their Short to Please store that they bring around a little thing, checklist, and we check things that we want, and then they'll bring and fulfill our order. They're so sweet. We love them. We love to see them in the halls. We're really, really fortunate to have them at our school. Awards days, we celebrate our boys and girls every quarter and at the end of the year with our awards days. This is a big day for us, so big that we had to split it into 3 different programs because we have so many parents that come. But there's the brag tags that they get for their awards, and just a time that they get to shine. Our summer reading, that's something that we're doing coming up this summer with some of our Title I funds. Every student will receive 10 books and a workbook that they'll take home, and we encourage them to stay engaged and learning throughout the summer so that we can prevent the summer slide as much as we can. Also, something that I'm excited about, I wanted a free little library outside of our school so that we can put books in there that parents can have access to with their children, even when we're not at school. So just a conversation I was having with a parent one day, I mentioned it, and he said, well, I can do that. So I went on and I bought the plans and gave it to him, and Mr. Mike Peterson, his wife was here earlier, he went and built that for me, and it's the prettiest thing that I've ever seen, and I just like to look at it. I'm trying to decide what color to stain it, and then before we get out for summer, we're gonna have a big celebration of the free little library so that kids will know what it is, and that they'll encourage their parents to come by throughout the summer to get books. And that's us. So I thank you for listening to us. I tried, there was so many things that I wanted to share, but I knew that in the essence of time, I needed to keep it short. But you guys are always welcome to come by and see us anytime and see us in full motion. But I appreciate you listening to our story. Thank you.
Wonderful job, Ms.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Any board members have any comments?
I do, if I can. Ms. Sullivan, we appreciate you. We appreciate your leadership. We appreciate your teachers and supporting staff. And everything you do, you are appreciated. And you still remain my oldest son, Ivan Shippey Jr., and Hank Logan's favorite teacher of their entire school career. So. Yes.
My first year babies are like in their 30s now.
They are 30 and 31.
And yeah,
yes.
So it's always good to hear that they
still remember and love you. Yes.
I can't top that, Ms. Sullivan, but I just want to say that Draytonville is just a small but mighty school, and you guys are doing such great things there. And I'm especially impressed with the Sown to Grow program, and I hope that that's something that we can expand to other schools. But what a standard you've set.
Yeah.
So thank you and your team, because it takes the whole crowd. But you can just tell when you speak, it exudes that you really do care about each and every child there. So just know that what you're doing is important, and we see you.
Yeah, absolutely. You have that personal touch, and there's nothing more important than that. So kudos to you, and this is what, your second year as principal?
Yes.
Doing a wonderful job. We're just looking forward to bigger and better things from Draytonville Dolphins.
Yes.
Congratulations to your entire staff. Wonderful job.
Okay. Thank you. Next item is new math standards update. Dr. Carpenter.
Dr. Dukes and Dr. Whiteside will make that presentation this evening.
She doesn't have the presentation up there. She doesn't have the presentation.
Okay.
You want us to circle back to that after capital projects?
Yes.
Next item is approval of 2024-25 capital projects budget. Board approval requested. Dr. Carpenter.
This evening, Ms. Isom will be making that presentation with assistance from Mr. Hughes.
We didn't really do a presentation, just we made the copies of everything, and everybody should have that in their packet. What we did is we required recommendations from all the schools, all the departments brought in everything that they requested. We put it all on one big list, and what you have in front of you is what we recommend to do because of safety, because of talking to the schools, because of the facility studies. Does everybody have a copy?
No.
Sorry. It looks like a one pager, and then there's a, in here, I can give you mine.
Should be the back page, looks like this.
We don't have
I didn't get that.
It was
in the
it
packet.
has an electronic version.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have the copy there.
That copy there. But the original request,
I got it.
the other,
Yeah.
the original request was $11 million, over $11 million, and we took it down to, for something, I don't have it right in front of me. But did y'all have any questions on what we had there? On our, I'm sorry, I would have brought copies, I thought.
It's okay.
these are items that the principals requested,
The
or
principals
the
or any department, like.
department head? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. And the total list is there, and then the top portion is just the portion we're requesting, and then at the bottom is everything that we didn't take, that we had to take off.
So how did you decide, like, some schools were large numbers of items and some were smaller?
We took the facility report,
Yeah, if you look out to the right, I think on yours, you have that percentage. So I took this, facility study report we had Cummings do, and we took that and started looking at the needs that were out there. So that's how a lot of that was determined to get those. Now, some of it, the ADA projects, we've got to get done. The playgrounds, we're finishing up, kind of where we started a few years ago to do the playgrounds each year. So those are in there, but for the most part, we took this Cummings report, and we started to pull stuff from it, under the hood, behind the curtain items.
I guess my only concern, and I'm Gaffney Middle School.
Thank you.
I went on a tour of that school, and I know long-term, we're thinking we need a new school. That furniture, now they've got some new furniture, but that furniture, that school was probably there when I graduated from there in '81. That's some antique furniture there. So that bothers me that that's not been put in that budget. Start small, add some, that's just my suggestion. I think them not getting nothing just bothers me. I know he jingled his key ring to me, and there was a lot of keys. I know that's an issue, and there's a lot of money there, but at least something. I'm just going through the list, and I didn't see them.
Furniture wasn't on your original list. All he asked for was modulars, rekey, and one other thing. There was no furniture on it.
I thought it was
It says
furniture.
25 set of class desks and chairs
That was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for 145,000.
Yeah, that was on there.
I mean, something.
We can add that, we can definitely add that in.
Catch, Ms. Coleman.
And Dr. Dawkins, tell me again, I know you're wanting to, the mobile units you're wanting was to add elective courses. Is that what, refresh my memory?
No, I was wanting to just get some more.
Because you have no
We
room,
have no more
no
rooms
space.
in the building.
You're busting at the
And
seams.
I have no more rooms, and we're trying to create spaces. Like, we have IP meetings and things like that, we have no way to put them, we gotta get creative and try to place them somewhere, because we have literally no more rooms in the building. So that's why I asked for something from Auditor, to put some classrooms out there, to free up some more rooms in the building, because space-wise, we're locked. Keys, I got 35 keys, my key rings, trying to unlock doors, which is a safety issue. I think Mr. Blackwell came last year, we talked about.
That's what I was fixing to say, about 2 years ago now. About 2 years ago, I actually viewed it, and I'll be honest with you, if we went into a lockdown, they couldn't do it. It wouldn't happen.
Couldn't go into a lockdown?
If we went into a lockdown where they had to close the doors and lock their classroom doors, it won't happen. So you need to look at it.
It should happen. They should be closed and locked.
You can lock them, it's the point of trying to get
They should be.
in.
I'm just saying, with so many different keys and locks, they gotta go through so many different keys to figure out which ones fits it.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. It's not mastered.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I totally agree. There's a lot with that school, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of fun.
Ridiculous that it's not
I
mastered.
know.
Hence, that's what
Or new
we're
school.
hoping to do.
Or new school.
Well, I mean, I think at some point in the not so distant future,
Yes,
this board's gonna have to decide
yeah.
to invest in, additions to some of these elementary schools that so badly need them. And we know those modulars can be transported and, to Gaffney Middle if needed, but, I mean, Mr. Dawkins is right. He's out of space, and it's just walking those halls. He needs all the help he can get. And that's not a lone scenario over there, Mr. Dawkins. He knows that we have needs all over the district, but, I agree with Miss Gallman that we need to invest in that school a little to make things
A
easier.
little bit.
It just concerns me that none of their requests were fulfilled, not one item.
Well, we are redoing their kitchen.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
maintenance issue though. That's not an instructional opportunity for them.
Well, the hope is to, you know, that's something, like you say, you've got to decide, are we gonna continue to, if we are, we might as well start taking and pumping the money back in it, but the last thing we wanna do is pump a lot of money in there, and then we build a new middle school, then so that's the reason this year we were at a point where it was, you know, try to get some information from
Yeah.
board.
And we understand
as to
that.
What are we looking to do long term?
We understand that.
So, so that's the reason. We're trying to catch the hot button items right now. The modulars, from where we did those several years ago, the 8 rooms, you're looking at 2 years ago, it was about 1.5 for those. So there's a lot to do other than pull them up and park them and jump them. So it's about a meter and a half when we did those at BDC.
So they can't be reused?
We can
Todd?
reuse them, but we've got to get, you know, you've got to get the inspections, you've got to get the plumbing, the electrical, all those things to that. So we could move those, yes.
Are there any available in our district?
Not right now. We have gotten rid of all the older modular units. We've gotten rid of those because they were eyesores and unusable.
And I like the rubric that you've used, Todd, because it goes to the need.
Right.
The hard part, though, for me, is that Gaffney Middle School, in particular, has been in a holding pattern for so long. Is that we're just, you know, if you'll just hold on, and then the referendum didn't pass, and now we're at a point like, what are we going to do?
We're in the
Because
same place with that with Ewing.
that's right, you're right.
2%, the worst we have in the district.
Right.
But Ewing, we do have electrical gear going in there, but if we don't do that, it is literally a time bomb. I mean, the other day, we had a bad issue, but maintenance guys were able to recover from it. But it was at a point where I told Dr. Carpenter we may be calling parents. We were at that point. So those things, we just got to keep it going. So there's a lot of needs. There
yeah.
are so many needs. It's just, we need to determine what our direction is gonna be. If we're keeping them, we've gotta start, like you say, sinking money into the Gaffney Middle, the Ewing Middle, the Blacksburg Middle. I mean, those schools have to have some.
Yeah, that's.
My only other concern was a safety issue at, I think it was at BD Lee, a metal detector for a module unit.
That was, the thought there was, we want all the parents to go through the front desk. I think what they were looking to do is maybe putting a metal detector out in their modular units and have folks go straight that way. But we're gonna ask her to go into the office.
Right.
And if there's absolutely there, I've got extra ones we could look at there. But the
Okay.
fencing, I think, I don't know if Dr. Jeff, I don't see her, was wanting to take that down the little concrete area that separates the kind of the employee parking or the visitor parking from that little loop circle. So aesthetically, that's not.
We want all parents to come through the front so they can
Yeah.
sign in, and we have a
That
record
makes
that they are in the building.
I just didn't know what the need of that is, a metal detector for a module unit. I didn't know what
Okay.
that was, if it's a safety issue or what. Okay. Okay.
We don't currently, our elementary students, we don't take them through.
Okay.
No.
Todd, can you talk about the need for an activity bus?
That activity bus is, it's a little bit more this year, but that one has a lift with it. So we currently don't have an activity bus with a lift to where if we had someone with that. So this year, to replace another one of our aging ones, we were looking at getting one with a lift so they could transfer.
And after that, we should be in pretty good shape with activity buses. Okay.
And I know there's a lot of needs out there for everything, and it's tough. It's very tough to.
So am I hearing y'all want to include the Gaffney Middle School furniture requests?
Mr. Dawkins, what is your greatest need? I mean, yes. But I see you submitted how many things here? I think I 5. So out of the 5, what are your top 2?
Top 2, I would say probably the safety thing would be the keys,
Okay.
and I know that's costly, and also probably the space.
So your top two is the keys and the modular unit?
That would be the top two.
Okay, give me.
What about a third
Give me your
option?
third.
We don't have $1 million. Thank you.
Give me number 3 then.
The furniture,
Okay, so let's say the keys and the furniture.
yes, okay, keys and furniture.
But I don't blame you. I always go for the goal.
So we do, I guess you noticed, we did put 600 in there for district miscellaneous, but we want to keep that, so we will have something that
Yep.
surprises. But I think she's got on there where 420 was going, we'll just take that out of that, if that's.
Yeah, there's sufficient funds for that. I mean, because you're only looking at approximately 345,000
Okay.
with,
So that's where we'll pull, instead of the 420 going, we'll pull from that. That's the wish.
All right.
Is there any other questions on that list?
What about the, Ewing? Ewing had trouble this past week, I think it was with the power. And, I think.
The switch gears on.
And
is
that's
that
in
the
there,
switch?
yeah.
Yes.
That's what kind of problem are we having with that switch gear? Because
What happened the other day, and Mr. Miller's here, he can tell you, the breaker in there basically disintegrated, it didn't trip off, so it caused major issues in the panel itself. So it wound up tripping the main breaker. So the switch gear is, we've had quite a bit of problems with that over there for quite a while. So this year, to get the whole panel switch gear and circuit redone.
if this is approved and the issue is there right now, how quick can that be remedied? I mean, that doesn't sound like that's a 24, 25 budget issue. That sounds like that needs to be remedied immediately.
Well, we'd obviously have to have time to take the power off the school.
Yeah.
So as quickly as we can to do that, to see how long that's gonna take, is what we're looking to do. But that's why we brought this early. We want to go ahead and start to be able to order things, to have it ready to go for day one of summer.
Right.
To where we've got a lot of this done. Did I answer your question, Mr. Blackwell?
well, I'm just trying to figure here versus replacing. I mean, you buying everything, cabinets and everything, it sounds like, rather than just, I guess you might say, the component itself. Is that correct?
I'm gonna
We're
let
replacing the components, we're replacing the whole cabinet, the whole switch gear, the main break and everything. It's, old Westinghouse from when the school was originally built. One that, we've had 2 failures now in the last 3 years with the breaker that actually blew up. And it's arced the whole bus, the whole main bus, there's 3 buses in it, related power, and it's arced up through it. And we were able to clean it up enough and get a spare breaker to put back in it to make it work till we get to June, hopefully first, we change up the whole cabinet. And that's just the cabinet, you understand, that's the main switch gear, where everything downstream now through the whole school is still from 1960, like all our middle school, like that. We're getting the main problem. You still have things downstream that's gonna be addressed, every time we just don't have the money in the budget at the time to do.
I'm just concerned, like I said, this late in the year, are you gonna be able to get the whole system? That
Yes, yes. Yes, it's a little over the panel, it takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks to complete it, to order it. But they say they're readily available now. They got better since the pandemic, kind of slowed down.
So that'll enforce them this summertime.
I have one more question. Institute of Innovation, they already need ADA, restroom remodel, a classroom tile, and 6 offices?
Yes, ma'am.
As new as that school is?
The bathroom is not compliant for a changing of a student that
Wow.
will be attending.
That's sad.
That's the same case at Blacksburg High, what we're doing.
Okay. Well, I know Blacksburg's a new, older building, but
The
That
We looked
just,
at those
Classroom is
situations.
outfitted, but this is a student that it would not be in that classroom, that would be participating in all general education classrooms, just would need,
okay,
changing space available.
just a need has arose, and now we see we need to make a change. What about the, whatever it is, the classroom tile and offices?
They, are coming from outside in their shop area, their floor is getting wrecked, so they're taking up the tile and going with polished concrete in there, so it's more easily cleanable. Because tracking from the shop area back in, that's really damaged the tile where it should have been done that way, I think, to start with, instead of having the tile coming in out of that with the polished concrete, but that's what that's, to remedy that situation.
And I'm just curious, where would the stadium concrete pad for the high school? What's that?
That is right over here where the jumbotron is. There's no good way to work on that board at all. So every time you have to come from the back and hang off ladders, and then we've even had folks to literally bring climbing gear to rappel from the front to be able to work on it. So what that is to put a concrete pad in front, so you can take a lift and go down to in front, and you can go up and work on it and have someone safe. That's it. Should have been engineered.
Yeah.
Sorry. That could have been corrected earlier on, but that's where it's at, and we're trying to do things. It's not safe.
Any other questions?
Just a good comment for Gaffney Middle. Their gym is beautiful. That's a beautiful gym. As old as that gym is, I don't know whoever worked on it in the past. They did a fantastic job in that gym. It's beautiful, beautiful gym.
I think everyone had a new floor put in.
That's beautiful.
It was redone in 2017, 2018, the building.
Well, it looks great. It looks great.
No further questions? Any
So
comments?
what are we adding for Gaffney Middle, like the total dollar amount?
It'd be
do we-
approximately 345.
But you're not adding it, you're just taking away.
Taking
from
it
the
out of
Yeah,
it.
it's just,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is.
Yeah, we need to keep that miscellaneous.
Yeah, okay.
So, Mr. Dawkins, the roof will hold, but I saw you say you needed, replacement of a portion of your roof.
That was for Mr. Middle.
That's what I'm, that's for me, man.
Oh, okay, that's for you. The roof will hold?
We can continue to keep, again, we went off a building study, so we're trying to get the worst thing first, which would be the kitchen plumbing.
Okay.
I can continue to keep patching the roof, but if our kitchen plumbing quits, we can't cook food for the
Gotcha.
kids, we can't go to school.
Understand.
So we're
Okay,
spending $300,000, better use that way.
absolutely.
And
Thank
we
you so
might
much.
see that next year.
Right.
If we're, I mean, we really have to go to Gaffney Middle and our middle schools if we're gonna stay at school.
I so wish the community could hear some of the needs.
We've got pictures of.
No, I'm just saying, when they itemize it like that, it just shows the tremendous need versus just lumping it together. I know it always seems like a crazy number, but when you hear the needs, not just, things that we want, but the things that we need.
What about the CLC 20 cafeteria tables and 2 hot top tables?
We've replaced some at Gaffney High and at Blacksburg High, the cafeteria tables, so we have some extras there.
Okay,
His are in pretty good shape as well.
okay, alrighty, okay.
But I think we can solve that one outside.
Alrighty, just wanna make sure everybody getting a little something.
Well, I'll make the motion to approve the 2024-25 capital budget, projects budget,
With the additions?
with the Gaffney additions. Yeah, Gaffney Middle additions.
I'll second
A
that.
second.
Any discussion? With regards to the discussion, that's the addition of $345,000 to Gaffney Middle School, which would leave approximately $75,000 that would go into reserves. Out of that, that was going to go to reserves. Any further discussion? All in favor, show of hands. That is unanimous.
Thank you.
We'll track back to the new math standards update. Do we have that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I try to keep some everywhere. Glasses. I never know it.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
We had some questions about the math course sequence, so we wanted to just take a moment to provide you some information tonight. I'm joined by Dr. Whiteside, my colleague in the C9 department. We're just going to talk to you briefly about the new math standards. In December of 2023, the State Department approved the 2023 math standards. The last time the standards were approved were in 2015. So we will continue to assess the 2015 standards in 24-25. 25-26 will be the first full year of implementation for the 2023 math standards. And that's just some general information there. So over the next year, we will start to provide professional development for district leaders and math teachers beginning late summer, early fall of 2024. And that will continue throughout the entire 24-25 school year. New math instructional materials will be adopted and in all classrooms for full implementation for 25-26. So 24-25 is just a year that we're preparing for implementation of the standards. So late summer, we will seek volunteers to serve on the math standards implementation team to revise all of our math curriculum maps and select materials to order for the new math implementation. And we hope to have those teams start meeting in October of 2024. So some changes for middle school. We'll start with middle school. Currently, you have middle school students taking Algebra 1 and taking geometry. Starting 25-26, the only high school course available for middle school students will be geometry with statistics, and that will be offered in the 8th grade. At this point, we have not decided as a district what criteria we will use for students to enroll in that course. We will take the 24-25 school year to seek feedback from teachers, parents, district leaders, before we make a decision on what that criteria will be to allow students to enroll in that geometry or statistics class. So it's very important to note, if a student takes this course in the 8th grade, it is the exact same course the 9th graders are taking in high school. So this course cannot be watered down just because a 12-year-old or 11-year-old student is taking it. It has to be taught the same way the high school course is taught for the typical 9th grade student. Okay?
They'll be earning credit,
They will earn one high school
credit for that course.
if they
Well, it shouldn't be watered down, if they're getting high school credit.
Rigor should remain where it should be.
It should be. So yes, ma'am. So one thing that we had a lot of questions about was pre-algebra. In 2015, when math standards were created in 2015, pre-algebra was not listed as a course authorized by the state. So there were no standards for pre-algebra in 2015. So there are no standards in the new standards, or no standards in the new math standards for pre-algebra. So we will no longer offer pre-algebra in Cherokee County School District because there are no standards for that course. So we have a lot of students taking the course now, but we will not offer that course for next year moving forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, what we did, we met with our principals. We also talked with our teachers during some of the math training that we were given as far as materials. And just for this year, to prepare for that implementation, and for those students who will be in the 6th grade coming up, the ones in the 7th and the 8th, this will be our progression to prepare them for that implementation for the 25, 26 year. So in 6th grade, all students who may be identified as GT, honors, or advanced in that course coming from our elementary school, okay, we will offer Math 6, 7 course. What that means is that the first semester in 6th grade, those students will get 6th grade standards. And I want you all to know that those standards are vast, okay, challenging for any 6th grader. And we know that for that transition from 5th grade to 6th, it's hard for students going into the middle school. There's a lot of things that they have to adjust to. New school, more classes, that rigor, and add on top of that, a 7th grade rigorous course. So those students will take 6th grade math and then half of 7th grade during that 6th grade year. That's for our GT students, okay? Students who may not be identified will take still the 6th grade course, which is still rigorous, okay, to prepare them again for that 7th grade, 8th grade. The state does not necessarily have recommendation for 6th, 7th course. They do, however, have it for 7th, 8th, because they understand after 6th grade, those students who may have been prepared, ready for more challenging, then you can give them that 6th, 7th course to prepare them for that high school course for that next year in 8th grade. So we did that for as far as our 7th grade. We will be using that course recommended for those students. Those 6th graders right now who may be ready for that, the GT students ready for that 7th, 8th grade course, they will be taught that this year, preparing them for what Dr. Deuce was saying, that geometry with statistics. We don't know what that looks like right now for that criteria, and we will look at that, but right now, that's what we're recommending for those students. And of course, our 8th graders right now, they will take either Algebra 1 or geometry, because they've had those courses. Yes. Yes, just the rising 8th graders, they will have that course. Okay? So I just wanted to give you a little bit what we have looked at, what we've talked about, what we're seeing. And I've talked to the principals. I know Mr. Dawkins and I talked with Ms. Griggs today. We are still looking at who are those students that may take those courses. And one thing that we're seeing is that we still have some students who are not passing that Algebra 1. And we're thinking, what are they going to take next year? So we've got to make some decisions. When we have students who are not making at least a 70, and they are GT students, where do we go from there with those students? So that's a conversation that we are having with our principals, so that we want to look at that criteria so our students don't feel so overwhelmed. They may have that knowledge, but they may not be as motivated to continue with that rigorous work. Being a former math teacher, I understand that. Oh, absolutely. Okay, it is difficult for our babies during this time. Whereas we have the pre-algebra, but the standards they have really moved those 4 standards where we're looking at data, statistics, geometry, reasoning. statistical reasoning, spatial reasoning. We're asking the kids to do a lot of the mathematics. So we have to make sure that they are prepared so that they can be college and career ready going into the high school.
Now, is this course teacher recommended, or can parents suggest their child be placed in these courses?
Now, we would look at that recommendation and we will talk about that. You're talking about the geometry with statistics?
Yes, yes.
That's something that we will need to discuss. Of course, parents will have some say-so, because like Dr. Duke said, we're gonna have them be part of our planning for that course and how that criteria will look, and hopefully everyone will feel comfortable with the understanding of what that course will look like for those students. So they will be involved. Any other questions you may have for me as far as with the middle school mathematics?
The only thing I have is sometimes it's tough, and you all know this better than I. It's tough to recruit teachers who are qualified to teach geometry, math, geometry, and now we're talking about geometry with statistics.
Oh, yes.
How big of a concern is that for you?
A huge concern.
So how do we balance that?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. I mean, it just seems like it's coming pretty fast for us, right? And we have a plan, but I mean,
math teachers.
right.
And now we're gonna need teachers to teach, our high school teachers to go down to the middle school. Because you have to have that certification. You can usually teach down but not teach up.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are thinking about that. Because right now, do we know if we have teachers at the middle school who are certified? I can't tell you that right now. I know we have maybe a couple, but be prepared to teach geometry with statistics? But that is something that Dr. Dukes, and our team was discussing.
Well, please keep us posted on what we can do to help you all and support.
Definitely.
Because this is a new challenge for us.
It is a very new challenge, yes.
Not the recruitment piece, but with the geometry with statistics and this new challenge. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. I have the notebook back there and I looked through it and I was like, my God. This is quite a bit for our students.
Yeah.
Because I did not teach that. I mean, I taught middle and high. And the things that they're asking us to give our babies, we're gonna have to make sure that we start kindergarten, make sure that they're prepared, by the time they hit the sixth grade. Sixth grade's tough for our students. Any other questions you may have for me?
So the pre-algebra will be taught within those courses, though. You said that we won't have, there will not be. So when will they get the pre-algebra? They won't?
There's no course for pre-algebra any longer. That's been about 10 years ago that they had that.
That's
The
just
standards have
crazy to think
changed.
that. Wow.
And they won't catch algebra until they get to high school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But in high school, but not in middle school.
Right.
Right. Ninth grade. Ninth grade?
No.
Excuse me, no.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that.
It's coming up on the next one.
Just to remind you, when a student is identified GT, that's only for ELA. So we have to rely on teacher recommendations, test scores to determine if a student can do advanced math. So there's no GT for math.
Okay.
So if a student is GT, they are identified only by their reading score. So you can be great at reading, but not so much math.
Right.
So we have to rely on the teacher, the student, to make a decision, can they take that math course and be successful at the pace that it has to go at? Because when you think about a math 6-7 course, that's all of the 6th grade standards and half of the 7th grade standards in 180 days. But you also have to think about, you rarely have a student show up to school for 180 days, to be present 180 days. So that's a lot of work for a 6th grader or a 7th grader or an 8th grader. So we have to be very cautious when we start putting middle school students in high school courses if they're not prepared.
Right.
So that preparation starts early, 1st grade, probably kindergarten for some of those students. So we just have to be mindful of that moving forward.
imagine there'd be less of those advanced classes probably compared to now.
Yeah. So high school, so there will be some changes for high school. We will no longer offer geometry. The course will be repurposed and called Geometry with Statistics. We will no longer offer Algebra 2. The course will be repurposed to Algebra 2 with Probability. So that adds more standards to the 9th and 10th grade year for students. Because you're taking two courses and combining them into one. And that will start the 25-26 school year.
So Algebra 1 remains the same, right? That's why it's not on the list.
It's
It's
already
the
in.
same.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to assume that.
So here are some new courses we will offer in 25-26 for math. So these courses are completely new. No teacher in the state of South Carolina has ever taught these courses. So we're gonna have to train our teachers all next year, the ones that high school principals decide to teach these courses. So you have reasoning and mathematics, application and modeling, and statistical modeling. Those are 3 new courses that we will offer all high school age kids. And no one has taught these courses. We've seen the standards in these courses, but no one has taught these courses. So we have to take all of next year to prepare for these courses. So the courses that are going away for 24, 25, well, 25, 26, Foundations in Algebra. We're asking schools not to offer that in 2024 because that is a course that has to be paired with intermediate algebra. So in order for a student to get Algebra 1 credit, they have to take now, if they take Foundations, they also have to take intermediate algebra and take the EOC, and then they get credit for the course. So we're asking principals not to offer Foundations in Algebra next year because we will not have it available for the students the following year. And if they fail that course, we won't have anything for them to take, and that will impact their GPA along with their transcripts. And so if you know if a student takes Foundation in Algebra and Intermediate Algebra, they will also need, if they're going to a 4-year college, that will not be it for them. They will have to take Algebra 1. So we're very cautious and mindful when we put kids in those classes. Algebra 3 will go away, and Probability and Statistics will go away. We will no longer offer those courses in the district or at the state level. And so just to give you a pathway beginning 25, 26, what the math will look like for high school. In 9th grade, they will take Geometry with Statistics. In 10th grade, they will take Algebra 1. So that you notice that Algebra 1 is where your EOC is. It's becoming more literacy based. And students are not doing well in that course. And so if you look at our district scores for the last 5 years, our students do not do well in Algebra 1. Taking it in the 8th grade, taking it in the 7th grade, or even taking it in the 9th grade. It's a very difficult course. So we're moving it to the 10th grade to give them an additional year to prep for that course with the EOC. After 10th grade, they have the option of moving to Algebra 2 with Probability, or they can move to Application for Modeling or Reasoning and Mathematics. If the student is going directly into the career field, I would suggest that they take Application and Modeling or Reasoning and Mathematics. If they're going to a 4-year college, they probably need to go to Algebra 2 with Probability. And that pathway, pre-cal, statistical modeling, discrete math, AP statistics, or dual credit. They can take that pathway. But if they know they're going into the workforce, I would suggest they take the other pathway. So this will be the pathway for high school starting 25, 26.
Algebra 1 is the only EOC course.
For high school.
For high school.
Yes. And that will be just-
And you're gonna do it in 10th grade.
So that means for Scholars Academy, we would have to revise the admission requirements, and for early college. We have to revise those, and we'll do all of that in 24, 25. Any questions?
Not right now.
So you may get questions from parents.
We blown away. Got the white side, we like, what?
You may get questions from parents. We do ask that if you do get questions from parents, direct them to the school principal or direct them to our office, and we'll be able to provide them.
Dr. Dukes, how are we gonna notify parents of this upcoming change?
The principals will communicate to the parents that making the change from 24, 25, the middle school principals.
Can we anticipate when that correspondence will be coming out?
We got a letter ready.
The letter's ready.
We got a letter ready.
We just wanted to present it to you tonight for information. So when it goes out tomorrow, if a parent calls you, you'll be able to provide them with clarification so that, you know, we're all on the same page.
Thank you for this clarification. I've already had questions truthfully, and I've directed those to Dr. Carpenter, and he's got with, but it does take a second to understand and wrap your head around, because these are courses that we have not heard of, and truthfully, they don't sound like too much fun. I mean, so, it's a tough sell for you all, but you're doing a good job. We really appreciate the work that you've put in so far.
I was gonna ask, are any of our neighboring districts moving along this path?
All districts in the state of South Carolina are required to follow this path.
Okay.
Yeah. So starting 25, 26, all.
This is the path we will all take.
Yeah.
Okay,
If we wanna offer a world-class education, we've got to catch up.
absolutely.
The rest of the world is doing this, and when you look at computer science or anything really in technology at secondary education, as far as higher education, you are needing this. I mean, discrete math, probability, you're not gonna get anything in computer science without having these very advanced. So, I mean, thank you for being very proactive. It's not an easy job for the CNI department and for the middle schools to move. I mean, that's a lot of work. So there's gonna be a lot of changes for the parents and for the students.
And for the teachers.
And
as well.
teachers,
Yeah, that's
because,
teachers.
like you said, we got new classes that are being taught. So, thank you.
Dr. Whiteside, can we coordinate and make sure the middle schools all send this out at the same time?
We were just, didn't want to get ahead of the board by giving you all that information, but they're ready to go out tonight.
Okay, well, let's just maybe talk about it tomorrow at the principal's meeting. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dawkins, I think he's.
Yes.
One thing I was gonna add to what Dr. Dukes was saying was, especially with these courses, when you got kids that's not prepared, one thing I know that I've seen since I've been in principal, you got parents that want kids in those classes, those high level classes.
That's why I asked
But
that.
kids are not prepared.
That's why
So
I
they want to
asked.
override kids into those classes.
Yeah.
We have prerequisites. We say no from the principal school standpoint. But those parents come around to school board members or whoever wanting their kids in those classes, but they might be scoring on a fourth grade level, but wanting their kid into a GT class in 8th grade. You tell them no, but the parent won't have been there, and that's something that we're seeing a lot. That's an issue that's major in Cherokee County.
That's why I asked that question. How was that recommendation handled?
We recommend, but a lot of times the parents want to override.
Yeah, we can recommend, but ultimately at the end of the day, the parents are the only one that makes decisions about the child's schedule. We advise the parents and the students. So if I tell you your child should go in Algebra 1 and you believe that you go in geometry, but we've given you all the data to show why Algebra 1 is best, and you still agree to put them in geometry, then that's pretty much the parent decision. We're gonna do all we can to make sure the child's successful, but you also have to realize that child is gonna be in a class with peers that may be far more advanced than that child. And then you have a teacher in that classroom that's doing their best, but it's a struggle to find good math teachers or teachers in general. So that's another layer of difficulty for the student and the teacher to have a class with so many different
Levels.
Right.
you know,
I understand that, absolutely.
So I just wanna put that out there, that
Yes.
that's a major piece that we're battling as well.
Well, as board members, we're board members. We hire and the superintendent, we set policy and procedure,
That's
we
right.
lead finances. I'm not an educator.
That's right.
Y'all are the educators. You're the professionals. And y'all are the leadership. And like you said, Dr. Dukes, there are a lot of students, parents think their students can do a lot more.
Right.
And they can, but it might not be this math. It might be something else.
So Mr. Dawkins is saying stay in our lane.
I'm not telling you, I'm just saying that's a problem that we're battling.
I understand.
But Dr. Nick said we shouldn't be interfering with that now. We trust y'all. Y'all are the educators.
I did say stay in our lane.
That's right, break it down.
All right, thank you for that presentation. Like I said, it's a lot, but for our students to succeed, we've got to change. And the addition of new items, I mean, and I'm sure this is not the end. This is the beginning of a lot of new items that will be coming forward. All right. The next item on the agenda is auditor contract.
Ms. Isom?
I think y'all all have my recommendation for a new auditor. I came from a place that we change auditors every 3 years, so that was common practice for us. And when I came to Cherokee County, I realized that the auditors weren't changed as regularly as where I'm used to. So I asked them to go out, and we had interviewed several auditors and had them send in bids to us for recommendations for a new auditor that has school district, I'm trying to think of the word, they have done a lot of school districts. So our recommendation was to hire Green Penny Conley as our new auditors for the next fiscal year. So I'm gonna ask him for y'all to approve that.
Where are they based out of?
They're based out of, they have an office in Greenville and Spartanburg and Columbia. They have a lot of offices.
Okay.
And some, I wrote down, I don't think I put it in my recommendation, but they do Anderson County, Fort Mill, Chester, Newberry, Spartanburg, District 3, Marion, and Greenville are some of the districts that they currently do. So they have a lot of experience. Do you have any questions about why we chose them?
I've got one. Looking at the previous years, I mean, it looks like, I mean, the pay was across the board.
Cost.
Yeah, the
And
cost.
And I'll tell you what I think happened with some of this is they may have done a special project for us, because I know in last year, they had to do our 1099s for us, so there was an additional fee for that. They paid our contract with them, we didn't have a contract year to year with Kokenhauer.
Mhm.
They just billed us per service, because we didn't have a contract like we had asked for the new auditors. So any service we had addition to, they charge us an additional fee. And a lot of that is timing of when we got service, because you'll see one year is 177. I think probably an invoice got dated or we got it late, and so that's why they're not equally spent, the expenses for the year.
Okay, and then the next question is, the statement says for the next 5 years. Is there anything in the contract based off of cost? Like, so
Yes.
we approve 125, then next year they shoot at 250.
They have a contract, they have their list for 5 years, and the cost goes up per 5 year. We can recommend just to use them for 1 year to see how it goes, and then, go back and look at it another year, but the cost will continue to increase. That's just the cost of the business, unfortunately. And that, I can get any of y'all their bids, their bid sheet, that list all their costs.
What was the cost increase? What
It's
percentage?
actually a decrease.
Huh?
It's a decrease leaving Kokenhauer and going to them.
No.
I'm talking about the new company.
The new company, I'm thinking it was $10,000, between 5 and 10 a year, depending on what. A lot of it has to do with our Title I, how many of those meet the criteria that have to be audited every year, your single audit ones. So if one of those meet that threshold, it may cost you more every year. It depends on where you fit on that threshold. Does that make sense?
Not to me.
let's
Yeah.
say we get $10 million. If our limit is $3 million, we have to do an audit on them every year. So if your Title II is $1 million and we got $2 million, you would do an audit on them too. So depending on how many of your programs meet that threshold, that's how much you're gonna cost, go up per program.
Okay.
Did I explain that better?
Now, I understand that. All right, but the actual cost, I mean,
Oh.
they're gonna have, they're gonna have an increase, a percentage
Right, I
increase,
think it was about 2,000 per year.
2,000. That's the number.
Yes, 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 sir.
Did we check with any other local, like, companies in Cherokee County?
We just did a bid process, and, the ones we got was, Coke and Apple. We got, I think 5, and I have those if y'all need me to send you a list of those.
Was this the lowest one, or did you choose it based on other services?
We brought 2 in with the lowest. We had a criteria, a list of 10 criteria.
Okay.
One of them was cost, one of them was experience, one of them was, whether they can meet our deadlines. I forget what all the criteria is, I can get you that too. And then what we did is we brought them in and interviewed them and asked them the procedure and then whether they had to come here, what they do online, different things like that.
You had a
And we all
rubric.
voted again, yes.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I think one advantage is they're a true education firm.
Yes, sir.
We have not had a true education firm in quite a while, so they may provide a different perspective and look at things in a different light.
I think if I remember right, the last time we took the bids, we only had 2 local companies here at all that they would do it, that could do it.
There's only one in Cherokee County.
I think at that time, we had 2 that supposedly was able.
Yeah, but now everything's done online. They do a lot of their stuff remote and
Sure.
upload everything to their portal and they look at everything. A lot of them don't even come in your office anymore.
Any further discussion and questions, Ms. Isaac? We have a request for, you got,
Well, I mean, the only concern I have is bringing in a new firm. I mean, the 5 years, I mean, I don't know, you get them in here 1 year and you, I don't know, you have issues, you know, and then we're stuck with them for 5 years or have to.
Right, if you'll approve 1 year and we can see how it
Yeah.
goes, I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Well, it says, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we asked for a 5-year plan, but I'm fine if y'all wanna try for 1 year and see how it goes, and we can always put it out for bid,
Yeah.
or we can go back to the
Okay.
old ones. I'm fine with whatever, I was just trying, it was common practice where I came from to try new auditors every so often.
No, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm with you.
Well, they get a new
Advise on
perspective,
things, yeah.
they have a lot of new, sometimes they show you things that are a lot easier to do, so.
And roughly, what's the cost savings on that?
Well, it depends on what year you look at. Like this year, we paid $293,000, and their bid was $125,000 for a year for the first year.
Well,
So that's
I'm
about
in agreement. I'm in agreement.
Yeah, about $150,000.
Okay.
I like saving money.
Giving it back to us, good.
So we need a motion?
yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we hire the Green Finney Cawley LLP firm for 1 year. And see how they do it 1 year, and then we can discuss next year if we want to continue using them.
Sounds great.
We have a motion to hire Green Finney Cawley LLP for 1 year with a reevaluation at the end of that year to determine further pursuit with them. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, show of hands? That is unanimous. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is executive session with a slight change in that the executive session is for the receipt of legal advice related to the city of Gaffney, annexation requests, and receipt of legal advice for interim superintendent contract. Do we have a motion to go into executive session for the receipt of legal advice related to the City of Gaffney annexation request and receipt of legal advice for interim superintendent contract.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go into executive session for the stated purposes.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, a show of hands? That is unanimous. We are now in executive session. We have been in executive session for receipt of legal advice related to the City of Gaffney annexation request and receipt of legal advice for an interim superintendent contract. Do we have a motion to return to regular session?
Make a motion, we return to regular session.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, show of hands to return to regular session? That is unanimous. Is there any action as needed from executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board appoint Dr. Thomas White to the position of interim superintendent beginning on April 22nd, 2024, and direct the board chair to execute a contract for interim superintendent services in consultation with the board's counsel, White and Story LLC.
We have a motion as stated. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, show of hands? That is unanimous. The next item is the superintendent search update. At this time, we will, as board chair, I want to appoint a committee for the superintendent search. Members of that committee, I want to say thank you to them. Mrs. Carol Gallman, she's going to be the chair of the superintendent search committee. Mrs. Dawkins is going to be a member. Mr. Wilkins will be a member, and Mr. Blackman will be a member of the superintendent search committee. More information will be coming from the committee as they meet, as we progress and move forward, as they look at vetting the applications for the superintendent, job requirements, recommended timelines for search, the scope of community involvement. As we said before, the involvement of the community is vital to the superintendent search. And also from the faculty and staff here at Cherokee County School District. So we look forward to their involvement as we move forward as a committee and then reporting back to the school board as a whole.
Dr. Nix, I do have a question, if I please.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know we said you were gonna get a committee appointed for this, but is that not what we hired them to do? What's the difference?
The committee is really more of a contact between the board and the School Board Association, the search committee. It allows for the committee, being a short, decreased number of board members, allows them to meet without a quorum with the School Board Association to discuss items going on, and they can report back. More of a function of a committee, what a committee would do within any kind of elected board or any kind of body. So they'll report back to us as far as the board as a whole. Does that make any sense? Does that help out? It's just like if you say it's another organization such as a church has a committee, they bring reports back to the church as a whole. Nothing that the committee does is, there's nothing that they can act on because there's no quorum. They're more of a liaison between us as a board and with the School Board Association. The School Board Association will be doing the search, but they're to help. The School Board Association has questions for them.
Can you give me an example of some specifics that the committee will actually be doing?
So the timeline, looking at timeline, bringing that to the board for approval, looking at vetting the application process with the School Board Association.
Okay.
I mean, it also determine, okay, what kind of forms do we want? How many forms do we want in the community? Bringing back suggestions to the whole school board.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, the next item is a superintendent's report. Dr. Carpenter.
I ask for approval of personnel recommendations submitted to the board.
We have a request for personnel recommendations. Do we have a motion for the personnel recommendations approval?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the personnel recommendations put forth by Dr. Carpenter.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? A show of hands in favor? That is unanimous.
Nurses Annual Report. Board members have been provided a copy of the infographic on mass health screenings for 23-24. Please note the significant improvement compared to last year on the follow-up and completion of the screening referrals, especially the vision screenings. Overall, a 38% improvement was achieved in return completed referrals. This is partly due to a change in our policy on screenings, parental resources, and a commitment to goal attainment by the nurses, as this process is part of the nursing strategic plan for this year. So kudos and way to go, CCSD nurses. Certified contracts, out of 583, we have received 337 contracts at this time. Roughly 58% have been returned. The due date is before May 11th. That concludes my report.
Dr. Carpenter, can you repeat those numbers, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Out of 583?
337 have been returned, 58%.
Thank you so much.
Next item are announcements. Mr. Blackwell?
Good, I don't have anything.
Mr. Cash? Ms. Gallman?
I think I'm good.
Mr. Wilkins? Good. Ms. Shuey?
No.
Ms. Shackelford?
I'll continue the trend. I think I'm good.
And Ms. Dawkins?
Well, I'm gonna break this mold. But I'm gonna leave it short. I am really excited about Dr. White coming on board as our interim superintendent, help to move the district forward. I'm praying that we're on the right path. Just ready for some exciting and some new and some different things to get our school district going in the direction that we need. And we need leadership, and he has agreed to be that leader on an interim basis. I also want to thank Dr. Carpenter for stepping in and being in that role during this transitional and really difficult stage for our district. He has done a magnificent job. I don't think I've received so many texts real time in my 4 years on here. He's on it. He's Johnny on the spot, and he keeps us informed, and he's done a great work as superintendent, acting superintendent, and so I want him to know that he's very, very much appreciated. Thank you, Dr. Carter.
I echo that.
I don't want to try to top
Okay.
that. So, thank you, Ms. Dawkins. Next item is adjournment. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, show of hands. That is unanimous. Thank you.